Good morning to all, Anna. Good morning. And today we had another chapter we are going to deal, that is nothing but Cnidaria, Anna. That's one of the important chapter for neet point of view as well as board examinations point of view. Now, this is the Cnidaria, and you know this Cnidaria is considered as the first diploblastic phylum. What is the first diploblastic phylum, Nana? The first diploblastic phylum with a radial symmetry. What is the symmetry seen in the what is the symmetry seen in the Cnidarian Sama? The Cnidarians are showing radial symmetry. And this is the considered as the first diploblastic phylum, which is having outer ectoderm and inner endoderm in its body wall. The body wall shows, or the cells of the embryo shows, two layers, outer ectoderm and the inner endoderm. Okay, and this is the first phylum, the first diploblastic phylum with the tissue level of organization. So, what is the first phylum with the tissue level of organization? The first phylum with the tissue level organization is seen in the Cnidarians. And mostly marine. Most of the Cnidarians are said to be living in sea water or salt water. Most of the Cnidarians are said to be present in the sea water or salt water. The organisms which are present in salt water are called marine, and few are freshwater organisms. Very few are said to be fresh water, and for that fresh water we had an example of Hydra. In the previous classes of 10th, 8th, 9th, there also the Hydra example will come for you there in our textbooks. And the Cnidaria name is derived due to the fact, the Cnidaria name is derived due to the fact, or name is derived due to the presence of the specialized cells. What do you call the presence of specialized cells? They are nothing but cnidoblasts. The presence of the specialized cells called cnidoblasts or cnidocytes. Cnidoblasts or otherwise called cnidocytes. And do you know one thing? The function of cnidoblasts or cnidocytes, its function includes, that is one, addition, attachment to the substratum. It helps in attachment to the substratum. 2, defense, which help in the protection. And 3, food collection. What is the third function of it, Nana? Food collection. Thus we are saying attachment to the substratum, defense and food collection are the 3 properties of cnidoblast cells. And the Cnidaria is also called as Coelenterata. The name Cnidaria is also called as Coelenterata. Why the name Cnidaria is called as Coelenterata? That is due to the presence of, the name Cnidaria is derived, the Cnidaria is also called as Coelenterata. Why the Cnidaria is also called as Coelenterata? Due to the presence of a central cavity. Called coelenteron. The body of Cnidarians contain a central cavity which you are calling it as coelenteron. Otherwise, the coelenteron is also called as gastrovascular cavity. What is the other name for coelenteron, Nana? Gastrovascular cavity. And this is the gastrovascular cavity which gives the functions of, or which do the functions of, one, digestion, and the second function for it is circulation. Thus we are clearly saying that digestion and circulation are the functions of gastrovascular cavity. You know very well, gastric means stomach. So stomach will do digestion. Vascular means blood. Blood is doing circulation. Thus digestion and circulation are the 2 functions of gastrovascular cavity. And this gastrovascular cavity contains a single opening. It contains a single opening. Sir, what is the single opening of this gastrovascular cavity? And this single opening, that what you are calling as mouth. which is present on hypostome. The structure present below the mouth is called as hypostome. Through this mouth, the food is taken and the waste materials are ingested out. Ingestion of food and ingestion of waste occurred through this mouth. That's an important. Okay, right. And then statocyst. Static means you know very well, balancing. Statocyst means balancing organs. They are the sense organs. What are the sense organs, Nana? Statocysts are the sense organs in medusoid forms. One of the body form, medusoid forms. Okay. And some cnidarians, not all the cnidarians, some cnidarians. If we observe some cnidarians body, some cnidarians like Obelia, some of the cnidarians like Obelia is said to be dimorphic. Is said to be di means two, morphic. Their body is having structurally two forms, dimorphic, because the body shows two forms. Dimorphic because of the presence of two stages. One of the stage is called polyp stage. The other one is called, one is polyp, the other one is called medusa. The other stage is called medusa. Sir, how is the polyp stage, sir? The polyp stage is called asexual form. It reproduces asexually. Hence is called asexual form. The polyp form is called cylindrical form. Its body is straight. The polyp form is called sessile. Sir, what is the meaning of sessile? The meaning of sessile is sedentary. That is nothing but immobile, Nana. The meaning of sessile means sedentary, which is called immobile. And what about the medusoid stage, sir? The medusoid stage, which is said to be sexual form. It is the sexual stage or sexual form. And it is said to be umbrella shaped. What is the shape of it, Nana? Umbrella shaped. And what about this here, sessile? Here it is said to be free swimming. What is the free swimming stage of the Obelia? Medusoid stage. Free swimming. And if you take the body, its body is appear like this. This is the polyp form and this is the medusoid form. This is the medusoid form, umbrella shaped form. You know the jellyfishes which we have seen in the marine water, like that of will be present. Okay, right. And next, reproduction. What about the, before going into the reproduction is said to be, alternation of generation. How is the reproduction, Anna? It is nothing but alternation. Once it reproduced through sexual stage, next it reproduced the alternation of generation. Once it reproduced through sexual days, polyp stage reproduce asexually and give medusa. Medusoid stage gives undergoes sexual reproduction and gives polyp. This stage undergoes asexual reproduction, giving this stage. This stage undergoes sexual reproduction and giving this stage. Means once asexual, that is followed by sexual. Then that type of reproduction is called alternation of generation, and that type of stages is called metagenesis. What do you call it as, Nana? Metagenesis. That's one of the important. And some of the cnidarians are said to be polymorphic. Some cnidarians, like sea anemones. Some of the cnidarians, like sea anemones, are polymorphic. They are said to be polymorphic. If anybody asks you, can you give an example for polymorphic cnidarian? You have to say the answer as nothing but sea anemones. Polymorphic means their body shows. Why they are calling it as polymorphic? Because their body shows different structures. The body showing different structures. Sir, what are the different structures present in the body called zooids? The body showing different structures called zooids. So some of the zooids were meant for protection. They are called dactylozooids. Dactylozooids, which are meant for protection, that have the tentacles. And some of the zooids are useful for reproduction. They are called gonozooids. They are involved in reproduction. Some of the zooids involved in nutrition, they are called gastrozooids. If the body having different type of structures involving different functions, we call it as nothing but a polymorphism. So nutritive zooids, gastrozooids, reproductive zooids, gonozooids, protective zooids, dactylozooids. Thus, three type of different structures present in the body, and that is called as polymorphic. And sorry, for the polymorphic, the example is Physalia. Physalia is the polymorphic Cnidaria. Sorry, polymorphic Cnidaria means we have to say the answer as Physalia. Physalia is called as the polymorphic Cnidaria. Okay, right. And one more. Some Cnidarians, some of the Cnidarians, like sea anemones. Some Cnidarians like sea anemones, body contain. Some Cnidarians like sea anemones, body contain exoskeleton, calcareous exoskeleton, calcium carbonate exoskeleton. Sir, what do you call the calcium carbonate exoskeleton of this? That is called as coral. What do you call it as? Corals. The calcium carbonate exoskeleton of the Cnidarians is called as corals. Okay, these are the important points regarding this Cnidarian. If we go for the digestion in the Cnidarian, the type of digestion, if we go for the Cnidarians, the digestion is said to be both extracellular and intracellular. Both extracellular and intracellular digestion. Both extracellular and intracellular digestion is seen in the nothing but both extra and intracellular digestion is seen in the Cnidarians. Both extracellular and intracellular digestion is seen in the Cnidarians. And examples, or sorry, development. So here, if we go for the fertilization, the type of fertilization is said to be external. And the type of development, surely the development is said to be indirect. Everybody knows this. Indirect development means development is said to be indirect with a larval stage. Sir, what is the larval stage? Development is indirect with a free swimming ciliated planula larva. What is the larva name, Mama? If the larva stage is present during the development, we call this as indirect development. So the development is indirect with a free swimming ciliated planula larva. One of the important point it is. And whereas the fertilization is external. Let us talk about the examples now. I think everybody knows this examples. The first example itself is Hydra. The second example is Obelia. I think everybody knows this. Obelia is also called as sea fur, dimorphic Cnidarian. And the third one is called Physalia, which they asked so many times in the public examination. What is the common name of Physalia? Portuguese, man of war. Portuguese, man of war. And the fourth example for this is Adamsia. Adamsia is called as sea anemone. And the fifth example for this is Cnidaria. Cnidaria shape is said to be brain, hence we call this as brain coral. And the sixth example for this is Gorgonia. Gorgonia is also called as sea fan. And the seventh example related to this is Pennatula. Pennatula is also commonly called as sea pen. And one more example, that is Corallium rubrum. This is the Corallium rubrum, which gives the precious red stone coral. The precious red stone coral is obtained from the precious red stone coral is obtained from the Corallium rubrum. That's the most important. Regarding this, they may ask in the NEET point of view, one of the 4 marks question, NEET. And regarding gastrovascular cavity, which is one of the most important, the functions of gastrovascular cavity, one is digestion, the other one is circulation. Then, and Cnidaria is also called as coelenterata due to the presence of a central cavity called coelenteron. This is one of the important for NEET point of view. What are the functions of cnidoblast cells? Addition, attachment to the substratum, defense, protection, and food collection. One of the important bit. The type of digestion seen in the cnidarians, both extra and intracellular digestion. Dimorphic cnidarian example, Obelia, in which polyp and medusoid stages are seen. Polyp stage, asexual form. Medusoid, sexual form. Polyp stage, cylindrical form. Medusoid, umbrella shaped. Polyform, sessile. It is immobile. It attached to the substratum and cannot move from one place to another place. And whereas medusoid is said to be free swimming, it always swims from one place to the another place. It easily floats on the water due to the presence of high mesoglia. Meso, middle, glia, gel-like substance. The gel-like substance between ectoderm and endoderm is called mesoglia. That is highest in medusa. That is why medusa stage can easily float on the water. Fertilization, external, development, indirect. So this is about Cnidaria. You watch this video 2 to 3 times. Surely, whatever the type of question arises from this, you can easily write the answers for that. So watch the videos carefully and get the best result. Thank you by watching this channel, and if you show more interest towards it, you can subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.